First of all, how did it feel to break the record?
Yeah, it felt great. I'm pretty proud of that accomplishment, and that's something I can look back on and say that's pretty cool what I was able to do here. But I think this season and how everything's going, I think it's more important to focus on the team and what we can accomplish.
I know you're a guy, you don't like thinking about it and stuff, but when you think of some of the receivers that have played here and stuff, and guys that have gone on to have good careers at the next level and stuff too, I mean, are you able to take something personally with what you've done?
Yeah, definitely, especially with those guys who came before me and we're up on, that record. I think, that's huge, and I'm very, very proud to be even in the same census as those guys.
How have you been able to be consistent? I mean, your freshman year, you only had 5 catches for 40 yards, and you come in the last couple of years. How have you been able to, how'd you get to the record? How were you able to do it, what you've done the last couple of years?
I think it wasn't me personally. I think it was more of a group effort. I think that, obviously I've been a part of a lot of good offenses here and with a lot of good quarterbacks, so those guys have definitely been a huge part of it. Obviously, we couldn't have done it without offensive line and other receivers and the running backs, so it's more of like a team effort and a team accomplishment, I think.
How difficult was it to not focus on the record even though, it was fast approaching and it was coming near?
It wasn't too difficult. I mean, it was kind of in the back of my mind, but not really. I was more focused on the game, I think.
Go ahead. I was going to say, with teammates, opposing coaches, even your own coaches, guys always say like, "Oh wait, that's the guy that sets all these records." They joke about you just being this undersized guy and all that stuff out of pads. How do you take that? I mean, do you take that in stride, or is that a knock on you?
I don't think it's a knock on me. I mean, I know how I look and how the average football player looks, so I don't think it's a knock on me. I mean, I kind of just look like the average Joe, I guess, and that's fine with me.
How do you overcome that then? Out in the football field, you're a different guy.
Yeah, I guess I'm a different guy. I think I still have attributes that make me, a good football player. Whether it's not looking the part, but I guess I still, know a lot about the game. So I think that's a big part.
Apparently on the TV.
Breaking a record like this, is it something that comes out of having a chip on your shoulder, or is it just something that, like you said, you're not even thinking about, it just almost came to you?
Yeah, I don't really have a chip on my shoulder about anything, but I think it more just happened. I don't know. I think that, I was more focused on about everything with the teams that I was on and being successful as a whole team that, I was pretty lucky that it just happened.
Apparently on the TV broadcast, they were saying something about like compliance issues. You haven't been able to get your trophy yet for the all-blue team. Like they weren't sure they could actually legally give it to you. What's going on with that? Do you know about that or?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't even know we got a trophy. Someone told me the other day. But
yeah, they had it, and they said legally they weren't sure if they could give it to you yet.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
so you didn't know about that? Okay.
No.
With you mentioned though, kind of people have talked about you, kind of your football savvy. I mean, you were a quarterback in high school, and you came here as a DB for a bit, right? And then obviously been great at receiver. What's enabled you to be able to do that? Make those transitions between positions and be able to do it well.
Yeah, I came here as a safety, and then they kind of moved me right when I got here into wide receiver. But I kind of had an idea that I was kind of on the borderline of those two, so I worked it a little bit, just did some small stuff, mostly DB stuff. But then when I got here, obviously the coaches that I had helped me a lot. Coach Prince helped me, and then when Coach Adams got here, he did a lot of fundamental stuff to really, kind of push me to that next level.
I think when the schedule came out, everyone said, okay, well, they can just get by BYU, then the schedule's going to lighten up. But all of a sudden, Wyoming, it looks like a pretty tough game on Saturday. What do you see out of them?
Yeah, Wyoming looks like a great team, and obviously they're undefeated in conference play, so that's huge for them. And we're really going to have a great week of preparation and really grind this tape to come out with a win.
They've obviously struggled the last couple of years, and here they are 5-2. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it at previous games. What are they doing differently maybe this year? Why have they been able to get some more wins?
I think that they just kind of have a lot of momentum right now, and a team with momentum is hard to stop. So we watched a little bit of film already, and their defense really flies the ball, and they're a physical team, so it should be a good game.
As a player, how much to prepare for the elevation up there?
Nothing specifically. No, not really.
How much is that, as a player, just when you see a program like that kind of go from having the difficulties to see them doing well? I mean, do you take notice, and is that something that just kind of impresses you when you see some of those other programs kind of rise up after a couple of years of having down years?
Yeah, it definitely does. Especially in the Mountain West, I love to see teams doing good like that. And obviously, we want a very competitive conference, so it's good to see.
A little late to the party, obviously. Some technical problems here. I just want to ask you about surpassing Titus in that record. What's it mean?
Yeah, it means a lot. I'm very proud of it. It's something that I can look back on after I'm done playing and say it was pretty cool what I was able to accomplish. But I think right now, from a team standpoint, I think we're concerned about what we can accomplish this season.
In Thursday's game, Sean Monster had by far his best game of his career. How much did that help you guys, and what did you see out of him, and how cool was that to see him get involved like that?
That was awesome to see. We all know that Sean's capable of that. Everyone on the team, the coaches, everyone. We see it from him every day in practice, and for him to be able to just do that in the game was huge, and he stepped up definitely.
Hars kind of said, with Jake Knight, that games like that can kind of help guys, take that next step. Or do you think you can do that with Sean? Because we've seen him in scrimmages and in practices, he catches us about everything. And so now to have it be in a game, how much do you think that might help him?
Yeah, it definitely will help him. And those game reps are huge for guys with experience. It's one thing to kind of simulate in practice, but the live reps really do help, and it gives a guy confidence. So, yeah, he should definitely be making strides.
You had to come out of the BYU game late. Just an awkward fall, or what happened on that play that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I just got the wind knocked out of me, so it's one of those things.
Piggybacking off that, from Sean to Jake, making an impact, obviously that big catch moved the change for you. How nice is it to see Jake making an impact on offense, and what do you see from him day in and day out at practice that leads to his performance on the game field?
Yeah, that guy definitely deserves all the credit because he does work pretty hard every day, and he's taking all the reps, and for him to go out and do what he does in practice in the middle of the game, especially when we needed it most, that's huge. And that guy, he works his butt off every day.
Hars was saying that was the fastest he's run after the catch. Have you seen him run faster?
I knew he could run, but he really turned the jets on there. So I thought he just needed a couple more yards to get in the end zone, but it was a good run.
With Wyoming coming up, obviously a huge game for you guys after 2 close calls down late in the game. How quickly are you going to try to just put this one away, get ahead, stay ahead, and not put yourself in that situation again?
Yeah, I think we definitely always want to start fast. We've been kind of going through some lulls on offense in these games where we start out good and then we kind of dip down. And I think that we talked about being more consistent throughout the entire game, so I think that should definitely help.
How big was that? I mean, you guys hadn't even trailed until 2 games ago, and then they were in the fourth quarter trailing, needing to put a drive together, and you guys go 90 yards, there in the fourth quarter to win the game. Can you guys learn something from that? I guess that feeling and knowing that maybe if you get down again, that you guys have confidence you can pull it out.
Yeah, I think especially last game we were kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a lot of the time. We felt like we were stopping ourselves, and for us to go 90 yards when we needed it most, it just kind of proves that we could have done that the whole time. And I think that it was more just Boise stopping Boise.
You guys have kind of one of those games every year where you have 5, 6, 7 turnovers. I mean, this one you at least won. What is it just contagious when one of those games happen, or why does it just seem like when one of those games happen, it just snowballs?
Yeah, it kind of just seems like the perfect storm sometimes, where one guy messes up and then you have another guy slip up, and the whole team's kind of seems like they're in a huge lull. And I think that we were able to kind of get out of that, and which was good, and we ended up getting the win.
How weird is side of those turnovers? What's it say about this group's resiliency?
A lot, The one thing about that whole, all the turnovers and everything was the effort was still there, which is obviously what you want, even though guys are kind of making errors. But, as long as the effort's there, you can't really ask for too much more.
How odd has this year been for you guys? I mean, you're undefeated, but, you sit there and we talk about whether it was second half offense struggles and turnovers and stuff, and you guys still keep winning these games. What's it been like for you guys? I mean, no game's really been the same for you.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of been a roller coaster. We've always kind of said you win the turnover battle, you win the game. Obviously, we haven't won too many turnover battles this year, but we've been able to still win. So we're kind of living on the edge like that in that sense. But if we start winning the turnover battle, we should really start putting teams away.
Is that, how are you guys able to overcome it, do you think? The fact that you guys have been on the wrong side of it in just about every game, but you still win.
I think just working it in practice, obviously ball security drills and things like that, and on the defensive side, obviously, stripping at the ball and creating turnovers in that sense.
The two